Buongiorno, my friends. I am trying to practice my Italian in the hopes that I can get hold of the Pope job coming up. I don't see much chance of getting it, but if you do want to vote for me, just do a hashtag Pyrotoz for Pope, and hopefully I'll get in. Who knows? Now, this is a game I had a couple of days ago. The Smogan Battle Finder, which is where I get most of my games, has been really sort of hit and miss over the past few days. Like, for this one sort of evening I was playing, I think this is the only new game I got, so I haven't got as many new gameplays as I'd like, but I'm going to be trying to get you some more as soon as the Battle Finder comes back online. But if you do want to contact me for a match, like personally, you can obviously like tweet me, and if I happen to be online at that time, yeah, I'll probably give it a go, assuming I'm not working or out or something. But gonna switch out on the first turn. I don't want to take an Earthquake, so gonna go to Meganium. I don't want Tentacle to die just yet. I think he's got some potential in this game to do something at least. So, take the Earthquake like it's nothing because Meganium is ridiculous. Now he switches out and goes into the Golduck. Now, I don't know what he was predicting here, but I just go straight for the Giga Drain. I'm not gonna mess around with predictions this early on. I can assume, this is my only thought, that he predicted like dual screens or something, and he was gonna Encore me into it. But I don't know how many people run Encore on Golduck, or whether or not that was worth the risk anyway, but whatever. Now he brings in the Vigoroth. I'm predicting Taunt, so I'm going to go to my Tentacle just to try and like knock off the Eviolite and then go from there. But it turns out he goes for a Bulk Up. Now this should have been a red flag to me saying, don't stay in with Tentacle, you'll die! You can't take a +1 return from a Vigoroth, what are you doing? I was kind of hoping to get up a layer of Toxic Spikes and then hopefully go for like a Venoshock sweep from there. My new favourite thing, by the way, is actually using Toxic Spikes and then using either Scarfed Seviper or Scarfed Victreebel at the moment, I think, and just lock myself into Venoshock and just kill everything. It's ridiculous, honestly. But now I go to Meganium. I don't know how I predicted this, but somehow I thought he wouldn't go for an attack on the first turn, so I go for Leech Seed, then counter just to take him out, because, you know, otherwise I have no idea how I would have taken this thing out. It probably had Sucker Punch, so it could outspeed anything on my team, and it's bulky enough to live any single attack, so yeah, kind of glad I got that big threat out of the way. Now he brings in the Haunter. I don't want to take a Sludge Bomb, so I'm going to go to Seviper. Now the Seviper in question here, I would assume that he predicted it to be a physical Seviper with Sucker Punch, because I go for a Flamethrower, I'm Scarfed, so I definitely outspeed. And it turns out this turn he tries to go for a sub. Now that does actually make sense because a lot of Sevipers do carry the Sucker Punch, so, you know, I can understand that play. But now he makes the safe play, goes into Hypno because it's definitely worth saving the Haunter for later on. Haunter's a big threat. It's like the glass cannon of NU, but it does a lot of damage if you let it get behind the sub. Now I bring in my Meganium because I don't know what Hypno's gonna do. I think maybe T-Wave I predicted, but whatever, I go to Meganium. Next turn I should have gone for Giga Drain because, you know, I could get back to above 100 HP and therefore live a Seismic Toss. For some reason I go for Leech Seed, but I miss anyway, so who cares, doesn't have a big impact. So Meganium dies. Unfortunately, poor old Littlefoot. He never got a chance! So I'm going to bring in my Dwebble here just to get out some layers of spikes. Now I know he has the War Turtle, and I have this in mind. I'm kind of thinking, I got a plan in the back of my head, right? If I go for a layer of spikes, and he sees that that's what I'm doing, I'd assume next turn he'd want to go to said War Turtle to try and rapid spin them away. So I'm going to make a switch into my Mickey Mouse and just hopefully do some damage to whatever comes in. In comes the War Turtle, which looks like Hermes from Greek mythology for some reason, and I'm now going to go for a T-Bolt. In comes the Gigalith. That probably was the best play because Gigalith is the least useful member of his team right now, so fair play. Go down with a Thunderbolt, and that does... I actually thought this might take it out because Pikachu's a boss. You don't want to mess with Pikachu. Almost takes it out, and then I go for another Thunderbolt, and that is going to finish it off. Now, the Pikachu in question here is my mixed Pikachu with, like, E-Speed, HP Ice, T-Bolt, and Brick Break. But I don't think I can take out Hypno in any case, so I'm going to go straight back to my Dwebble here. I think I actually predicted T-Wave, although a lot of people probably wouldn't T-Wave a Pikachu because 9 times out of 10 it's going to be carry Lightning Rod, but whatever. Go to Dwebble here just to take a Seismic Toss. Now you see I got the Weak Armour ability on. Now the Weak Armour is... I really wanted to run this set with something like Vanillux, but it turns out it can't get Endure, so... You know, I thought, yeah, Endure, Shell Smash, Spikes just for the hell of it, and then like one attacking move just to hopefully benefit from that. You could potentially run a fully offensive set, like you could have Shell Smash with Focus Sash. I have Focus Sash on this, by the way, just because I don't have Sturdy, but you could have Focus Sash and then like Rock Slide plus Flail or something. Because of the set I'm running here, it's like a half offensive set, half hazard set, so I got Endure, I got Shell Smash, and I get both off there, and now I can go for a Flail, and that's gonna just decimate Wartortle. I don't know how this actually happened, even though I have the +2, I have the full power Flail. I still thought Wartortle would take that, but the crit probably factored in, no doubt. Sorry about that. In comes the Hypno, gonna go for a Flail again. I'm not sure why I didn't bring in the Haunter because I don't have anything to hit Haunter, so whatever. Hypno goes down and in comes the Haunter. I'm gonna go for Spikes because I have no other reason to do anything with Dwebble. It's basically dead weight. Don't need it for anything. Haunter is gonna die to one more Life Orb hit, but Vendetta is having none of that. Gonna go for a Flamethrower and just take him out from there, which is nice. Unfortunately, I didn't get to try out the whole Venoshock Toxic Spike thing, but I can tell you I've tried it in other games and it is definitely a fun strategy to run. To be honest, Victreebel probably does this better, or even Haunter, to be honest. Like, you could have Choice Scarf with Venoshock, Shadow Ball, HP, Ground, and Trick or something. That could definitely work. So, hope you all enjoyed the match. Definitely a fun one, and with that being said... No, not with that being said. I also want to give out a little shout out to my opponent here, which is KINGnvrtry. He told me he just started a YouTube channel and he started making videos, so definitely check him out. He seems like a good guy, so... With that being said, finally, hope you all enjoyed the match, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.